content what you have seen in the
Yeah.
WhatsApp group chat. Okay, right. So basically, we'll start from this. So that is with the introduction to the Oracle Cloud, and we'll look at what is different platforms that we have, and when do we go for the different platforms and those things at high level. Okay, and then we'll talk about the application. So we'll see in the application. Okay, and these are the common things that you have inside Oracle applications. That is your setup and maintenance, and then you have your enterprise structure. So we'll also see what is the difference between EBS structure and the cloud structure, and then we'll see the business. So here business unit is nothing but the operating unit. So that we'll talk about, because we'll have to see the order management module as well. So by then we'll see what is business unit and how are we controlling the access or the controls in terms of security. Okay, and then we'll talk about the implementation or the project implementation. So which means that why do we create this project, and how will that benefit to this particular implementation. So that we'll see. And then we'll basically cover three modules. So that is the procurement, order management, and then the inventory. Okay, so the core modules will be covered as part of this course. Okay, so which we will start with basically the inventory, because if you see, so that is the base, but meaning that will not go in detail, because I have procurement first and then we'll see the inventory. Okay, so in procurement, basically we have certain functions, and then we have how do we derive our account code combination. So in EBS it is different, and here in the cloud application, so we have something called TAD, that is Transaction Account Builder. Okay,
Okay.
so so
Okay.
and then the approval, and so hope you have seen all this course content. So probably I'll not bore you with what you have seen it already, but I'll just talk about what we have planned for today. Okay, so probably after this introduction, you can stop me and we can discuss about the course content if you want to probably want to get any clarification or something like that. So we can discuss. All right. So what we have planned for today is that introduction. Okay, so this is the one that I'm going to talk about it. So here, first thing, if you see, so we have Oracle Cloud. So when we say Oracle Cloud, which means that this particular application will be deployed in Oracle's infrastructure, which means in the cloud platform. Okay. So when we talk about cloud platform, which means that these are the three things that we have. So first thing is SaaS, which means that software as a service. So wherein I'll not include my customization, or I'll not build my custom component in it, or I cannot create my custom component in it. So that we call it as an SaaS, which means whatever the solution Oracle has given for us in terms of either it could be inventory, or it could be procurement, or it could be order management. So whatever the feature or the functionality that is given by Oracle, so we will utilize this particular functionality or these functionalities, and we will implement the solution to the customer. So this we call it as SaaS, or you can call this as an vanilla implementation. Okay, and the second thing we have is that PaaS, platform as a service. So platform as a service, meaning that if you want to build your own application, so you can build your own application also in terms of PaaS. Inside PaaS, you can build your own application also. So for instance, let's say I have a requirement, so wherein I wanted to bring in custom approval workflow. So what I can do is that, so I can, so this approval workflow, I'm not talking about the normal item creation or the purchase order. So these kind of approvals. So here already we have this approval that is defined, designed by Oracle. So that is standard feature that we have it in Oracle Fusion, which will be part of our SaaS application. Okay. So the thing that I'm talking about here is that the custom component that we can build. So now, when I say custom component, it could be probably let's say I wanted to create it for the move order. okay, or whatever, it's not there as part of this product functionality. If I want to build it, so I can build using this. So for this, again, I will need this subscription. Okay, so this is completely based on the subscription. All right. So now if I have this subscription with me, so if I have taken this PaaS application, by default, I will have this VBCS application as well. So if you have this VBCS license or the subscription, so meaning I can build my own workflow, so wherein I can build my pages and then I can build my functionalities. Okay. So basically you can define your own application in this PaaS application, but the difference between your PaaS application and the IaaS application. So IaaS is meaning infrastructure as a service. So now what is the difference between
So I'm
PaaS and
sorry, Arun,
yeah,
like in the interest of to save your time, I'm from
no,
PaaS and IS background, so I'm familiar with those.
yeah,
I'm bit of SaaS as well. So
okay,
like maybe like if you wanted to exclude those topics and move on, you may.
okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so the next thing that I wanted to basically talk about is the roles. Okay. So now here in EBS, if you see, so you basically has this roles and the other matrix in order to control the access given to the user. Okay. But here, if you see, so it's basically based on the roles that we are giving here in the Oracle Fusion, but there it is controlled by the responsibility that we are attaching it to the user. So how do we do that is that, so here so I'll just put this as EBS and Fusion. Okay, so in case of EBS, what I'll do is that, so I'll create a responsibility. Okay, so whereas here I'll have so when I say responsibility, so I will have the function attached to it. Okay, so this function is attached to this responsibility, and I'm attaching this responsibility to the user. Okay, but whereas here if you see, so I have this role, so I'll directly attach this role to the user. So
Okay.
now here in this case, role is nothing but exactly your function. So what is the privilege that I have, or what is the transaction or the functionality that I have in the system is nothing but your role. So for instance, so I have my inventory super user. So now this user will have access to create the item. It will have access to probably have your physical inventory checked, and then it will have transfer order. So all those functionalities are there. So this is the standard Oracle's role that that is given. So again, if you want to customize this particular role, so that again we can do it. So this is similar to your responsibility modifications that you are doing. So here
Okay.
two things, so here
Okay.
two things that we can do. So one is that the existing role can be copied, or if you want to create it as a fresh one, so that is also possible, so that we can do it. Okay, so this is about the security. Okay, and then here we have something called offering. So offering is nothing but your module. So let's say purchasing is a module in EBS. Okay, so here we call this as procurement. Okay, so similarly you have order management, and then here again we have the OM module specifically. Okay, so it's basically the term change, but the functionalities are the other things remains same. So except few things that is added to it. So something like your punch out and the other things can be addition to it, which you don't have it in the EBS. Okay, so that is the thing. And then you have a common screen wherein you call this as an FSM. Okay, so now here if you see, so let's say I wanted to do configurations for my module that is purchasing. So I'll have to go to this particular module and do the setups. But here I'm getting this access using application implementation consultant tool, APM role. So now if I have this role, I'll be able to do the configurations. And then I'll have something called security manager. So this I'm getting through IT security manager.
Okay.
Okay, so if I have this, so this is kind of an system admin. So what you have in EBS is system admin, so wherein you can create new responsibilities or new users, or if you want to invoke the access, so all those things you can do it using sysadmin. So similarly here you have this role called IT security manager, so which will give you access to add new user or customize your role or add the existing role. Okay, so that you can do it. So that is IT security manager. Okay, so now I have given access to this particular user, but I have not given access to a particular unit or the particular inventory or a specific ledger or the business unit I haven't given. So this we are doing it using data access. So we have a common screen, so wherein I can give access to my ledger, I can give access to my business unit, inventory unit, or the intercompany. So whatever the access that I want to give, so it's in this page called data access. So where I can give access to any number of units. Okay. So that is about the access and the controls that we have it in Oracle Fusion. Okay, and then on the structure, so I'll just give the high level understanding what is the structure that we are talking about. So I'll just give here on the EBS side. So we have the business unit, sorry, business group. Okay,
Okay.
and then we have primary ledger. So probably as an option we also have this secondary ledger, and then we have the legal entity. So under that, if you want to add multiple OU, so you can add, and then you have the inventory organization and the sub inventory. Okay, so now here, so when I say business unit, it can be multiple also. So let's say I'm implementing for one for India and the other one for probably let's say Singapore. So now my currency and my calendar might change. Okay, currency of course it changes, but calendar it's moreover similar to it, but not exactly, because if you see there it starts from June or sometime, but here it
Yeah.
starts from April. Okay, so that's the change that we have. But here in Fusion, if you see, so we don't have the concept of business unit, wherein we have something called enterprise. So if I want to create multiple enterprise, I'll not be able to do it, because Oracle has set this as an one particular entity that I can create. So for instance, so I'm taking BMW as an scenario. Okay, so now BMW is operating from let's say Singapore. Okay, so Singapore is head office. So in this case, so I have operation in India, I have operation in Australia, okay, and then I also have operation in China, let's say. So now I'm having my manufacturing hub in, let's say, Indo-China region, which means that it's in China, but I basically deliver, or I basically share between these two countries and call this as an Indo-China manufacturing hub. Instead of calling it as a manufacturing unit, I call it as a hub, because that is kind of a big place where I do this manufacturing process. Okay, so now in this particular scenario, if I want to set my enterprise structure, I'll not be able to set this as enterprise for India, BMW India, and enterprise for BMW Australia. So I'll not be able to do this. So the way I can configure is that I can say this is my BMW group, sorry, BMW group, okay, and under this I have legislative data group. Okay, so what
Okay.
is this legislative data group is that in order to have this process bring into Oracle Fusion, so Oracle has given a flexibility in terms of attaching this legislative data group to our enterprise and link it with the different countries. So now
Okay.
in this case, BMW India. So I'll create BMW India as one legislative data group, and then I'll create BMW Australia. Okay, so similarly, I can create multiple, and now I can attach this to my legal entity. So now the legal entity could be for, again, for India I'll have one legal entity. So for Australia I'll have one, or probably for Singapore if I want to add, probably for two region I'm creating two legal entities, so that is also possible. But again, this will be linked with my legislative data group. Okay, so this is how I'm mapping this process, that is
Okay.
business group, in Oracle Fusion. So same changes it, but otherwise it's almost similar. That is your it could be your primary ledger or
Uh,
your legal entity. So it's only the term change here. It is the business unit, we call it here, but
yeah.
rest almost same. Okay. So now if I want to access this particular operating unit in EBS, so what I will do is that, so I will have this option called profile option. Okay, so this profile option will give access in terms of selecting this operating unit when I'm doing this particular transaction. It could be your sales order, or it could be any other transaction. But here in this case, so it is controlled at multiple level, in a sense that I have something called RDS, reference data set. Okay, so now
Okay.
what exactly this reference data set is that? So now let's say I am trying to create my customer. Okay, so I'm just using the same scenario here. So I have my India customer. Okay, and then I have my Australian customer. Now for India customer, what I will do is that I will say IND RDS, and here I'll say this is Australian RDS. So now if I give this level of access, so I will not be able to see this customer when I log in as an Australian business unit. Okay, because this is controlled as reference data set at business unit. So we have something called business unit assignment. So now if I assign this reference data set at customer level, so it's not specific to the business unit that I'm setting it here, the reference data set. I'm giving it at the activity or the functionality wise. So let's say I have one thing is customer, and the other thing is that I can say probably um, the remit to address. Okay, or I want to probably limit with the location, that also I can do. So there are multiple things that anyway we'll be looking at the system, but I'm just
Okay.
an overview. So these are the things that we have. So we can control at this level also. So now here if you see, so commonly for our inventory, it could be inventory or any other specific modules. So we have common reference data set. So that is created by Oracle. So this is standard one that is given by Oracle. But now when it comes to customer master, so I'll not have this option of attaching this common reference data set. So for this, either I'll have to go with enterprise, or I'll have to create my custom reference data set. Okay, so the reason being, if I want to share this particular customer, so let's say this scenario that we are looking at is across the country, but let's say I'm looking at India BMW, wherein I have my sales unit and then I have my service
Yeah.
unit. So
Yeah.
now, if I want to basically share this particular customer, because I don't want to separate it, so what I will do is that, so I'll give this as an enterprise set instead of creating the custom one. So custom one, when I'll go for it is that, so when I have a requirement wherein I don't want this customer to be visible in the second business unit or the inventory unit, so that is when I'll go for this particular option, enterprise. Sorry, custom. Okay, so enterprise is something that I can look at this particular customer at both the units. Okay, so that's about the security layer that we have. in terms of
Okay.
accessing the data.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So if we don't have any questions, so probably I'll go to the application and then I'll show you how the system looks like and how do we create the implementation project and what we can do inside that, and
Okay.
creation of the roles, and then the creation of user and attaching it to the user, and we'll try to log in with that particular user. Okay. Yeah. So
So like I have
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
while you were discussing, I just jotted down some of the points and queries which I had, like
Okay.
around 20 plus questions I have, which I have pinged you in the
Okay.
chat in the Skype.
Okay.
So maybe when you get chance, you can take it up.
Okay, so just open
I
the
have
chat.
sent it in the Skype chat. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, reference documents for configuration. Okay, I don't have it readily with me, so probably I'll create it and I can share it with you.
Okay, so maybe like I'll go quickly one by one question. So like
Okay.
during while we are going completing this course, like at the end of the course or mid of the course, will you be providing any configuration guide or setup guide? That is the question.
Yeah, that's what, as I said, so I don't have it readily with me, so I'll
Okay.
prepare one and I'll share it with you.
Okay, fine. All right. And then second one is the version of application. Like this is a cloud version, right? Like and what
Yeah,
will be
it
the
is
version
cloud.
that,
Yeah, it is cloud.
and what will be
It,
the
uh,
like
it
approximate version?
Yeah, I think there should be 23.
Okay,
I mean, I'm not sure
fine.
because after last week there was a refresh. I'm not sure if there is any change,
That's fine.
but I'm sure it is more than 23.
Okay.
Probably I'll confirm on the version
Okay.
after this.
All right. And during while taking up this training, like, will you be providing any assignment so that like I'll be doing such configurations and coming back to you, like how does it work?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That I'll be sharing it
Oh,
as when we complete certain topics. So I'll be
okay.
giving